Hi, you know me as Amos, the serial entrepreneur who's actually trying to do something impossible out of nothing. Because really, I believe that there's a lot that we can do and the possibilities are infinite. That's something that I've been talking about through my brand, Infinity. As you can see, I'm wearing something that I made from Infinity, and this thing actually came out very nice considering that I had to imagine this thing and put it out uh, on a piece of paper, ended up on my neck. So imagination is very big, guys. You might actually want to look back on the video that I made previously where I was talking about how important it is for us to actually imagine and use our imagination to best bring out what we want. So anyway, let's go back to the video itself. I actually want to talk to you guys about the reasons why you might want to quit. Recently, I was on a downfall, on a verge of quitting and thinking that whatever I'm doing is not feasible or I'm just not up for it. It happens to us. As a serial entrepreneur, I'm trying to achieve something that's quite absurd or illogical. But I stand on what I believe, infinity. I feel like there's no limit to what I can do or produce or anything like that. So I'm actually gonna mention out the reasons why I felt like quitting. Great. So recently, great update, we registered Paid Markets, but now it's called Tascacom because of some name issues. So Paid Markets is Tascacom, and we are officially registered. We're a taxpayer now. And that's just a lot amount of pressure, but we're fine with it. But anyway, so let's get to the reason why. There's a thing that I noticed with the reasons why I wanted to quit this thing and focus on something else that I'm not into. So I went back to the situation and I found out that I really compared myself with something. I really compare myself with a company that has been around for a while, but I believe we started on the same level, which was last year. We're in the same industry, we're doing the same things, but recently I went through the pages, I was scrolling on Facebook and I see the ads, click on it, and then I find that they're actually doing a lot better than I could actually imagine, or something that I wasn't aware of. So really that thing actually became demeaning because it meant that I've been beaten. They beat me to something. You understand? So really, that thing actually made me feel very low down and in doubt of achieving or getting to where they're going or getting whatever they achieved. So I really compare myself, and that is something you should never do as a business person. You might want to look into other businesses to actually get inspiration, but not to just check and see if you're doing better than them. No, don't do that. But anyway, let's go on the second problem or the second reason why I wanted to quit. It was gratification. Everyone is talking about instant gratification. It really exists, and as a business person, as an entrepreneur, you will have instant gratification. And to be honest, you really need to put in the work. You really need to be consistent, and repetition is something you really need to get used to. It's something that I'm trying to get into because repetition is the worst thing. I don't know how to put it, but repetition is something that I can't do. It's something that I can't even repeat movies to begin with. I can't. It's hard, and I'm learning it. So you really need to set out your expectations right, and you can't be doing something just to be satisfied with it. That's the whole thing. So I've laid out the problems. So let's get on to the solutions. Solutions. So I noticed something. You, as a business or an entrepreneur or a solo entrepreneur, you will need a second perspective. You will need someone to see the things that you're seeing in another view. So I recommend, before you even hit rock bottom or a problem, you might actually wanna have someone you tell the wins. You really need everything that excites you, every accomplishment that you gain on the business. You actually have to tell someone. There must be someone collecting all of the wins. Whenever you are excited about something you did on the business, you must tell someone, or that person should be collecting all of the wins. It doesn't matter whether it doesn't matter whether you're telling your grandma, your mom, your girlfriend, or whoever, but make sure you have that person you tell your wins, because there will be a time when you face a loss. You'll be gaining a lot of wins, but there's going to be a time when you face a loss. So here's what's going to happen. You will tell that person that I think I've hit rock bottom. I think I've hit a loss right now. What they see, that perspective, they see 10 wins or a lot of wins you've been talking about and telling them about, and one loss. So whatever they're gonna tell you, whatever's gonna come out of them is something that might shock you. It's gonna allow you to actually see the problem in another perspective. Because right now, you no longer have one loss, you actually have 10 wins and one loss. And you can always connect the dots going backward and not into the future. That's what Jeff Bezos said. That's one of the solutions that you might go about with. And another thing, I realized that some of the things that we're actually doing as business people, we actually have the elements of climbing out of just being an individual and into entrepreneurship. Social media is no longer an entertainment kind of thing. It's more of a tool now. When you're a business person, social media is a tool for you to be actually talking to your clients and your potential clients. You really need to put that in mind, that you're using social media to show your futures, the benefits and everything. You're not right there to slack off and just keep scrolling, because remember, I found myself scrolling and I found an ad, and then that just led to a disaster of finding someone doing something I've been meaning to do better than I can ever imagine. That is just demeaning. It's gonna cause comparison. It's not good. And the last thing, when I talked about gratification in the second problem, is that you really need to set open goals. Setting open goals is the best thing you can do. I remember setting goals that I will have to actually accomplish something in a certain amount of time. So time actually causes the goals not to be open. And that can be a lot demeaning if you are going towards the time you've set and you're not gaining anything that you've been meaning to gain. So the goal actually will be a sabotage anymore. It's no longer a motivation, it's a sabotage, because the time you set the thing to get something, it's not feasible. And that is just a lot demeaning. So when you're setting a goal, keep it open. You might actually want to remove the time of accomplishing the goal. You might actually want to remove that, and you might actually want to set open goals, like I want to sell a lot of t-shirts this year, or perhaps you might remove this year. I want to sell a lot of t-shirts. I want to make a lot of money. Those are the kind of things. So I'm not saying you shouldn't set crazy goals. I'm not saying you shouldn't set goals that are like that scare you, because those things are motivational. But you really need to set goals that are open, because at the end you don't want the goal to be sabotaging you. You don't want the goal to be coming back and bite you. And guys, I really need you to actually go back in the video. If you don't actually understand the things that I'm saying, you might actually want to repeat this video, because there's something that I noticed. If you want to really learn something, you will have to do it again. You will actually have to see it again. In order for you to learn anything, like I said in the previous video where I was talking about the paradigm is formed by repetition. It's consistent, it's spaced, and it's paced. So you really need to go over something that you're trying to learn over and over again. And I wish you all the best. And I really need to remind you that the possibilities are infinite and you are capable of doing a lot more. I'm scared at the progress that I've made over infinity, because in one of the problems that I was talking about gratification, I got caught up into thinking that I've had infinity for a month. Infinity hasn't been here for a month. It's only been for a week. But the amount of work that I've put in makes me feel like I've been doing this thing for a month. So that just challenges everything that I've thought I can accomplish. I've thought about infinity in less than 5 days and just put it out in the air, throw it up, and made it so loud that if people were interested in it, and it was so fast. It was something that I never thought I could accomplish. So really, really, you should believe in yourself. And even if you don't believe in yourself, just find yourself sitting down, doing something you really wanted to do. Just sit down and try it. You will see that the satisfaction is great. And all I'm going to say is that, guys, repetition is key, and getting a second perspective is key. Get into the serial entrepreneur mindset. Get into the business person mindset. Become the business person. You're not weak. You're not dumb. That's the case. You're not dumb. You're not weak, and you can get there. You can even get succeeding. You can get further away from whatever you see right now, because remember, you're not competing, you're creating. You're a creator, you're not a competitor. You don't want to get something that's already here, you're creating it. So remove the thought of competition, start comparing yourself where you're going. You've never been, no one has ever been. You're infinite. Catch you on the flip side, guys. Great.